Update 5 is mid? So, Anime Defenders just dropped Update 5. It's been a long anticipated update, spanning over the course of a couple weeks, leaving the community thirsting, fiending for more content, more things to do in the game, and with such a elongated waiting time, the community had high expectations for this update. But as I'm reading some of my YouTube comments and people on the Anime Defenders Discord server, I'm seeing that the reception to this update is mixed at best. So in this video, I'm going to be reading over some of the comments and messages that I've compiled for this Update 5 video, going over whether I agreed or disagree with them, and just giving my personal thoughts on the situation. So with all that being said, we're going to read the very first comment that I had found, and it reads, it was a YouTube comment. Someone said, this is what it says: "The new realm currency would ruin the economy of the game even more in my opinion. Gems are trashier than ever now unless they re-implement the previous feature where you can exchange gems for the limited banners currency." I don't know what he's trying to say by the new realm currency is going to kill the economy. Maybe he means that excuse me. Maybe he means that now that the new units for the Aethenix realm are pretty annoying to obtain, especially since you need the new currency to get them, it's just going to make everything 10 times more inflated than it already is. Gems are going to lose even more value. And I get what he means by saying gems are trashier than ever. I do feel as if gems are at an all-time low in terms of value. Or maybe it's just that everything is just super duper expensive. Whichever one of the two it is, one thing remains for sure, and that is that gems don't feel as valuable as they did on release. Like, I remember back in my day, 100,000 gems could get you a secret. I know that seems crazy, right? But in the game's inception, 100,000 gems used to be a lot, and now, you know, that's pocket change. You walk in the trading plaza with 100,000 gems, people are gonna laugh at you. You know, you're gonna look like you're asking for donations. And I don't know, I feel like that's just a little bit unhealthy for the game, having an economy that's so rapidly inflating at such an uncontrollable pace. What do I think could be done to mitigate that problem? I've always been of the notion that black marketers are the main reason that this game is like having as much of an influx in inflation as it has. Because black marketers, they'll exploit for a bunch of rerolls or a bunch of gems or the new units, whatever it may be. They'll get all that stuff, sell it online, and that just hurts the economy of the game tremendously. I think that one big step in the right direction would be to make rerolls untradeable. I don't think you should be allowed to trade rerolls. Maybe you can go the ALS route and make it so you can only trade rerolls that you buy with real money. That would make things a little bit more controlled, and it would essentially kill the BMing problem, because all the exploiters who are getting all these thousands of trait shards or trait crystals, they would have no avenue of selling it because it would be essentially useless to them if they can't sell it. So I feel like if you cut down on the BMing problem by making rerolls not tradable, that would be a huge step in the right direction. Again, exploiters, what the heck is this? Shield enemies, regen enemies, split enemies? Okay, I'll take split enemies. I guess that's the new thing. Anyways, I got distracted, I'm sorry. What was I trying to say? I think the main way to stop inflation in this game, you have to stop it at the source, at the root. And where is that? That is in BMing. That is in exploiting. Now, the devs can't just snap their fingers and make exploits go away. That's not possible. But what they can do is make it as hard as possible for the BMers to do what they do best, and that's make their money. So how would you do that? I think rerolls shouldn't be tradable in this game, but I also think rerolls are pretty hard to obtain as is. Like, try and get 1,000 rerolls as a free-to-play player legitimately without BMing, without exploiting, without buying anything. Just sit down and grind out the game until you get 1,000 rerolls. I tried to do that for a video and I literally gave up at like 300 rerolls because I was like, oh my goodness, dude, this is something else. Now, I'll admit there are different avenues of getting rerolls. You can grind for them in Tower of Eternity. I'm pretty sure there's some in the Battle Pass. You can also trade for them. But I don't know. I think there should be an easier way to obtain rerolls. Maybe make it so you can get them in AFK Chamber. Maybe make it so there's a raid system that drops more trait rerolls than it already does. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but if you ask me, I think inflation is caused by BMing, and I think BMing could be fixed if you just made it so their main source of income is no longer viable. Cough cough rerolls. Now, let's read the next comment. This one says, no 2x speed, gems are literally useless, all they did was add some story stages, this is worse than anyone could have imagined. Now, I strongly disagree with this statement, and I'll tell you why. Number one, no 2x speed. You know, that is a valid concern. I personally wanted 2x speed, but in the devs' defense, they never stated that they were going to add that in the roadmap. They were being very, very transparent with us when they told us all the content that we had ahead of time. Nowhere in that patch note did it say 2x speed. So coming into this update and being disappointed there's no 2x speed when it was already stated weeks in advance is a little bit unfair to the devs, I would say. Because, you know, I really don't think that should detract from the update. The game never has had 2x speed, and there are other anime tower defense games that have game passes or innate features that let the game go faster. Anime Defenders either isn't going to implement that yet, or they just don't plan to. So I don't think that's really a big gripe that you can get with the update. Next one is gems are literally useless. I agree with that. I do agree with that one. Gems feel like they don't feel like anything, you know? It's like when Mansa Musa went on his voyage and he was so rich that everywhere that he went, he broke the economy of wherever he went because he was just so rich. He was just giving everyone money and then money became worthless. That's what it feels in Anime Defenders, except no one's giving us gems. Everything's just increasing in price more and more. So it's really a rich get richer, poor get poorer situation. Next one is, all they did was add some story maps. That is just not true at all, you know? We have 6 new story maps, new game modes, new game mechanics, new units, new currencies, a bunch of stuff. Saying that they only added story mode maps is definitely disingenuous, like, for the update. I will say, it may not feel like there's a ton of content as soon as you play the game, but that's just because you actually need to grind out the stuff, you know? You're not going to be able to unlock every unit and get everything as soon as the update comes out. And I think people are just mad, or maybe not mad, but they're a little bit disappointed that they didn't go the route of the past 2 updates, you know? This update has no secret pity. This update has no easy way of getting the new currencies. It's not like the lucky ticket event where you could literally get like 200 tickets in 5 minutes by doing anything. No. You need to actually grind the game this time. And I guess people were just too used to the systems that we had before, where we would get some portals with a guaranteed secret as long as you grinded enough, and we'd also get a banner with super free-to-play secrets that were super incredibly easy to obtain. I can see why people would be a little bit off guard or disappointed that the update 5 isn't like that. But to say that all they did was add some story mode stages is just not true at all. And he also said this is worse than anyone could imagine. Again, I disagree with that, because do we remember Update 3? Do we remember the 5.7 years incident? That was really the absolute heyday of this game's controversy. Because back then, the update was not only pay to win, but it was a slap in the face to even the people who paid money, because it was still incredibly hard to obtain the new units. In this update, I can see the average player obtaining all of these units. It wouldn't be immediately and it wouldn't be quickly, but it definitely seems obtainable. Something that we didn't have in Update 3. So, is this update worse than anyone could have imagined? Absolutely not. We still have a ton of content, a ton of units. Sure, it's grindy, but if your biggest gripe with an update is the fact that it's grindy, I really think you might be playing the wrong genre of game here, because that's really the case for any anime tower defense game on the platform. Next up, this dude said update is mid. I don't have anything to say about this one. This is just an opinion, and I just included this one in the start of the video. Next one, man, mid update, broken heart emoji. You know, I just think you need to give the update a chance. You know, play it a little more. I can't give my personal opinions as to whether I think the update is mid or bad, good, great, amazing, disappointing, lackluster, one of the best updates we've ever had. I still need to play the update to thoroughly form my opinion. Next one. This one's a little bit longer. L update, gems are useless, they don't even reset the battle pass. They also add a lot of story but no 2x speed. Grind for tokens is just boring and no secret pity. This is the worst update. Gems feeling useless, I can see what you mean by that, I agree. They didn't even reset the battle pass. Well, I think the reason they didn't reset the battle pass was because they added a whole new one, the Athenex battle pass, and that one is resettable. So if your concern is that you can't grind a battle pass, you know, fret not, because there is an infinitely resettable battle pass as soon as you get into the second world. I don't really think you need to worry about the dragon battle pass getting reset, because the new battle pass not only has better rewards, but it has rewards that are more relevant to you, because you want to use the new tethers, the new currencies to get all the new units. I don't see why you would be worrying about the old battle pass. Next one, no 2x speed. This is becoming a common theme. I've read a lot of sad comments or people that are sad, angry, disappointed that there's no 2x speed. The reason I think they don't want to add 2x speed is just because maybe it would be, this is just how I personally see it. I could be completely wrong. I think it's just bad for business to add 2x speed. Why? Because you want to get premium payouts. How do you get premium payouts? You keep players in your game as long as possible. And how do you do that? You don't add an item that makes the game go twice as fast. Now, my reasoning, you know, you can easily debunk that, because there's a case to be made. Well, if players have 2x speed, they're gonna feel like their playtime is more rewarding, causing them to play the game more, causing premium payouts to rise. It's a whole issue that you can really go back and forth on. Do I think they'll ever add 2x speed? I don't think it's impossible. I think there is a genuine chance, if the community demands it enough, there will be 2x speed. But as it stands right now, I don't see it coming in the near future. Next up, grind for tokens is just boring and there's no secret pity. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people were just used to the way that things were for the past updates, where there was a secret pity, the secrets were relatively easy to obtain. And although that is nice for the average free-to-play player, and it's nice for me as well because it makes secrets a lot easier to get and make videos on, you know, this might be a controversial opinion, but I enjoy the fact that secrets are hard to get. When there's no secret pity, I do get a little bummed out because I'm like, damn, this is going to take me a while to get, but a secret should feel like a secret. You know, when the game first came out, if you saw a dude walking around with a Sung Jin Woo, like, you knew he meant business, because it was incredibly hard to get a secret back then. Gems were not as easy to obtain, and it was just harder to get secrets in general because there was no pity. So secrets genuinely felt secret. You know, it's in the name of a unit. A secret unit should not be incredibly easy to obtain, nor should it be a guaranteed drop, because it's a secret unit. It's supposed to serve as the pinnacle of the game, reserved for only the late game players who are willing to put in the time and effort to actually obtain these said units. Now, that argument can also be debunked by the fact, hey, I don't have tens of hundreds of hours to dump into this game. I just want to play with cool units. I would like there to be a pity. I completely understand that. The way I personally see it, I enjoy it when units are really hard and scarce to obtain, because it makes it feel all the better when you actually get them. Again, that's just my personal opinion though. Grind for tokens is just boring. I mean, there's gonna be ways to circumvent the grind. I already have a couple videos in mind of how I'm gonna efficiently farm these new tokens. Guys, don't worry, it's not gonna be incredibly boring to grind tokens. I'm sure there are ways around it, cough cough macro, but we'll get into that in a separate video. Next one. Only good thing about the update is that burrow units... Okay, let me read this again. Only good thing about the update is the burrow units to keep ground units relevant. However, I feel they completely rewrote the game and fucked it up sooner than later. Or, fucked it up sooner. Biggest update, my ass. I agree with the fact that the new burrow units are really cool. It's a cool addition to the game, another game mechanic. It adds another layer of strategy. It makes it so you can't just outright bring a hybrid unit into every single game mode and win flawlessly. I agree with that. Do I agree with the fact that they completely rewrote the game and fucked it up? Maybe. I'm 50-50 on this. because I see both sides of the argument. Number one, it's a little bit annoying for there to be a whole new world that has essentially all of the new content in the game, and all of that new content is locked behind a bunch of new resources that you have none of. No one has any. Excuse me, my mic cut off. No one has any of the new resources. You feel like you're starting from zero. Do I think they completely rewrote the game? No. That is just an absolute lie. If they rewrote the game, we wouldn't even be playing tower defense right now. We would be doing RNG or a simulator where I sit here in AFK and I can buy 20 different luck game passes. They didn't rewrite the game, they just made everyone start from scratch. That's how I see the new update. Biggest update, my ass. I mean, in terms of content, you can't tell me that this isn't the biggest update they've ever done. And the more that we play the update, I'm sure we're going to be able to try out all the new units and stuff, and that's where the content is really going to shine, in my opinion. And now that we're through with all the YouTube comments, I have 3 Discord messages that I found. The first one is, worst update yet, make it so you can take 4 instead of 3. He's talking about the tether units. You notice how I'm only using 3 units right now. It's because those are the only ones I was allowed to use. You can only bring in 3 units with you to the next realm, or the Phoenix realm. I think that's fine. The reason I like the fact that it's 3 and not more than that is because it incentivizes players to actually grind for the new units. If they allowed you to take your entire team into the Phoenix realm, it would sort of trivialize the game, because players like me who already have a full team of secrets would just absolutely steamroll the story mode. So this forces you to be a little bit more strategic, plan out what units you're going to bring, because you want to make sure you can actually beat the story. And maybe for a player that isn't as advanced into the game as I am, it might be... Oh, another modifier, okay. These are all suck. Okay, whatever, I'll take armor. As I was saying, so let me just add another one of these guys. Boom. We have a bunch of money. Let me just upgrade my Sung Jin Woo, both of them. What was I talking about? I like the fact that you can only bring in 3 units. It adds a layer of strategy, but I can understand how some people would be frustrated, because only 3 units does leave you very limited, especially since one of them is probably going to have to be a farm, let's be honest. Most people aren't going to be running anything without a farm. I know I won't. But yeah, I think 3 is fine. When you get the new units, you'll feel it's a lot easier, trust me. Next one, disappointing update. Again, this one's just an opinion, and I added this one for the beginning, but I have nothing to say about this one. I don't think it's disappointing, at least from what I've played so far, but I'll give my full opinions on that when I've played the update enough. And this is the last one. This one is pretty long, but it does have a lot of stuff to talk about. No quality of life updates, dog shit drop rate, no secret pity, all that paired with a long ass update with little to no content. Mid defender strikes again. No quality of life. I don't really know what quality of life they were talking about. I'm assuming that they're alluding to 2x speed, because that's the main quality of life thing I can think of. Dog shit drop rate. Once again, this is the same drop rate that the game released with. If you're complaining about there not being a secret pity, I think that you might just be in the wrong genre of game. Because if you expect to walk into the new update and be able to hit a secret pity and just get all the best new units immediately, what was even the point of the update? I like the fact that the new secret units are hard to obtain. It makes them actually feel secret. By dogshit drop rates, I'm assuming he mainly means the secrets, because I can't think of anything else that's like super hard to obtain that has a horrible drop rate. All that paired with a long ass update with little to no content. I will say this, 3 weeks to wait for an update was pretty long. In the devs' defense, they did say... Whoops, my mic fell again. In the devs' defense, they did say that they had to scrap the lobby, they had to restart, there was a lot of work to be done. This does seem like the most content-heavy update that we've ever had. I can see why this took 3 weeks. Does this mean that people are going to be happy it took 3 weeks? Absolutely not. But I can sympathize with the devs and I can see where they're coming from. Mid defender strikes again. Is the update mid? Is it not mid? I personally, right now, if you ask me right now, do I think the update's mid? No. I think this update is good. Will my opinion change as I play more? Who knows? I can't tell you. But what I know for now is that this video is over. I've gone through everything that I wanted to talk about, and I will be dropping more guides, more videos as I unlock more content for this game. And with all that being said, that's going to wrap up my video. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.